Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, the Twitch streamer Cenat was all up in the news and the media again because if y'all remember, this is the same young man who was in the news and the media earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, for that party that he threw in New York City where he invited that young lady to his house and what happened to her allegedly by some dude that he allegedly went to school with but claimed that he didn't know like that. This boy then got himself all up in the media again for making dumb decisions. I see he hasn't learned from his previous lapse of good judgment, but that's another video for another day. So this young man decided he was going to do a PS5 and other, I guess gaming consoles or electronics giveaway. Now, why in the world he didn't do it like normal streamers and YouTubers do it, which, they basically get on the internet, they put out the contest, they tell you what you got to do, like, subscribe, comment to enter, and then after the allotted time, they tell these people to direct message them or privately message them, and then they send it to them. Why he couldn't just do it like the normal people did it, I'll never understand. And then to host the event in the busiest and most crowded city in the United States of America. Like I said before, I'll never be able to wrap my head around that, how stupid that was. And then on top of that, I think he also got slammed by the legal system for not having a permit to host this event. I thought, admittedly, foolishly, that the hype for the PS5 had finally died down a little bit, but as you can see, as this situation has shown us, that couldn't have been further from the truth. I guess people came from all four corners of everywhere to try and attend this event. And if I'm not mistaken, it was mostly, individuals of the Generation Z group, young individuals whose parents were, I guess, not mindful of them, what they were doing, where they were. No parental supervision. Kids just, bouncing around like loose cannons. And things got out of hand real fast. Fights started breaking out. The kids started throwing stuff at cop cars, cussing out the cops, just having real degenerate behavior, if you will. And then Mr. Cenat got arrested and was supposed to be expected to face 2 counts of inciting a riot and an unlawful assembly of these young people. Allegedly. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is once again why I said in a previous video, people who have influence need to be held to higher standards and they need to be held accountable for the influence, how they use that influence, what they do with it. Yes, these young people chose to go out and do stuff like throw stuff at cop cars, start fights, fight with the authorities, but who influenced them to go out there? Who drew them all out there in large numbers to begin with? People, especially young people, are very impressionable, and all it takes is a couple of words from somebody who they look up to, who they watch a lot, who they feel like they have some kind of connection with, who they like, who they idolize. No, we should not be this way. No, our children should not be this way, and we should raise them to, have a mind of their own and do the right thing, but that's how the world, unfortunately, goes round. That's how some of these people think. That's how some of these kids think. There were quite a few people on the internet who expressed their frustration at this young man for all the problems that he caused that day. Not just with the fights that broke out because he drew all those people there for something as goofy as that he could have did online, but because he caused a lot of problems for people outside of the situation. Like I said, this was New York City that he did this in. There was all kinds of traffic issues. There were people that couldn't get where they were going because of this. People, their daily flow was impeded. And, it's like he didn't even take that into consideration before he did what he did. You only live in New York City. You should have knew this. But like I said, clearly he didn't take it into consideration. He didn't think about anybody. He wasn't using his head clearly. People like him cannot afford to do dumb stuff like this because it negatively impacts the lives and the safety of not just the people that follow him and that will be out there doing this tomfoolery and participating in this tomfoolery with him, but people, like I said, outside of the situation. But I don't put all the blame on him. I also put a lot of the blame on these kids' parents because where were they? Like I said, most of these individuals out here were young kids, like of the, Generation Z group. Where were their parents? Why were they not mindful of where their children were? And even if their children had went to them and said, hey, I want to go out, meet up with this streamer or whatever, he's giving away XYZ, and they said, okay, sure, have fun. Why wasn't there a conversation had? Like, well, first of all, you need to be careful. Don't be going out there starting no fights or doing nothing crazy. You're a representation of me. Like, you need to do the right thing, set a good example. It's bad enough that there are already stigmas, out there about our young black kids. This doesn't help that at all. Actually, it makes it 1,000 times worse. Although I think in general, America has a serious problem with parental absenteeism, if you will, and because of the lack of parents willing to chastise their children, discipline them, properly raise them, and train them, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Like I said, I believe it's both his fault and the parents' fault because both of them, both parties, so to speak, did stuff that they weren't supposed to do or didn't do something that they were supposed to do. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.